So
in this.
here's one word I was using in this whole segment is intuition or intuitive decision making. I'm gonna say what I think, and I'm curious to hear what you think. Do you think in making good business decisions, there's an aspect of intuition saying or gut saying, dude, like go here. Like your brain is telling, like a lot of times with decisions, our brain gives us the answer in like 0.01 seconds before we have time to like logic out the answer. Like here's an example. Like when I'm texting like girls, for example, right? Like my brain will just tell me like what to say back right away. But then the more I sit and think about what I have to text now, I'm like, maybe I have to say something that's like a bit like fun or something like that. Or you know what I mean? And then my brain like tries to like make me say something. And then I send it and it's like, why didn't I just say what I would have said naturally, like what my intuition was telling me, right? So do you think in business there's always this aspect of you know what's right and making the right decisions feels right? Or do you think Munger and Buffett were actually making decisions that kind of hurt them a little bit, or that maybe they were tempted to like go this way, their intuition or their gut was tempting them to go this way, but they were kind of like just very principled and stoic, like still making this like unsexy or ungut like decision. For me, I actually feel like my intuition kind of has been helping me a little bit recently. Like I'm making decisions like based off of almost like what I feel and what my gut is telling me is right. And I just have to trust that I'm going to get the positive feedback because I'm not a super experienced business person, even, right now. I've been trying to do online business for a while. And I've had some wins, some losses, and I still haven't made it yet. So I'm still at the point where like I have to like put myself out there and like try things that I'm not 100% sure are going to work. But I feel like my intuition is getting me closer to really quote unquote making it. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I have to be doing the unsexy things that might that as opposed to what my gut is telling me to do. What do you think about that dichotomy?
So let me ask you this, because I disagree with you. I actually don't think this is a good strategy for a lot of things. But here's why I think you might be finding it working for you. Let me first ask you this. Do you think that when you think things through, trying to be logical, do you think that does that tend to lead toward more action, or do you think it tends to lead towards less action and more analysis?
More analysis.
Right. I think that like what is true is that early on in any sort of business venture or any project that you're undertaking, intuition will allow you to move quicker. Why? Because a lot of times our gut feelings are just easier for us to believe, right? We can
Yeah.
just get behind our own gut feelings much more strongly, right? I can take like a feeling like I just know this is the right way to do it. And for the next 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, however long, a lot of times our gut feelings kind of morph and evolve over time. But the funny thing is that we just like it's like a fire inside of you. Like it's just like, this is the truth. I'm not gonna go this way. Like this is what my gut's telling me. It's just easy. It's
Yeah.
almost like you are your own like motivator or leader in that case. And it's a very easy message for you to get behind because it's just so innate to you. It's internal, right? But sometimes those logical decisions are kind of hard to sell ourselves on because it's like, the data is telling me this, but like this doesn't feel right. There's something like it doesn't seem like the right decision. So what I would say is the following. I would say like data-driven decisions, basically like using information and making logical decisions is always going to be better I would say in sort of business like high leverage business decisions where it's like very like lots on the line. I need to like make sure I have everything perfect for this. Like I'm doing a big investment, I'm betting the company on this, like it needs to work. You're not going to go by gut, right? You're going to be like, okay, I need to make sure exactly, how much is this asset that I'm about to buy? Is it cash flowing? How much? Like what are all the numbers? Get it down perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think the thing is that our brains are evolved like that intuition, those gut decisions. That's your brains at like that's however millions of years of evolution of the human brain, like kind of helping you make fast decisions. Because in the pre-industrialized world, we made decisions largely based on gut because we didn't have like ways to like reference data or collect info. We really just kind of went based on our experiences and use sort of the instinctual evolutionary learnings of our ancestors to kind of just make decisions quickly. Because a lot of times that was enough. That was plenty, right? Like, oh, is it warm here? Okay, well then we'll settle here. Do Do we have food here? Okay, then we'll stay here. Anyway, I would say that evolution doesn't serve us in today's like sort of business environment, especially when it's like sort of high leverage decisions. I would say when you're at a very early stage in your business, I would definitely encourage you to make intuition-based decisions, because then it will lead to more action, and you'll be able to follow those beliefs more strongly, and you'll be able to get more done. That's really what I would boil it down. I'd say early on, intuition good, but later on, make as many data-driven decisions as you can, because lots of times our gut is wrong, and it's not easy for us to know that. So try to base most of your decisions in something that's more concrete. I would definitely aim for driven decisions. But yeah, I'll just circle back and say one more time, like, you burn whatever fuel you have, and if getting the rocket off the ground is like the easiest way to do that is intuition-based decision making, you should totally do it, because it's going to lead to more action.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't have a ton of data at this point, to make my decisions off. And I don't necessarily think I'm making decisions that are super emotional and like completely way off the bat. I'm just saying, like, I'm navigating this path in a pretty early stage. So I agree that, you got to use what you can to take action and like get this thing off the ground. So, but
I would even go so far as to say that, like, trying to use data-driven decisions too early will hurt you, and it's actually not what I would advise, because you're just going to be like scraping together whatever data you can, and like sometimes it's not even good data to use. Right? Like early on, you really do just need to like take immense action and adjust as quickly as you can. Like just move forward quickly, get a lot done, and adjust as things come up.
Fail fast.
And then once you get a start, like once, frankly, a business is just trying to get revenue, right? Like trying to make money. So if you get something that's working and you're making money from it, now you're starting to gain leverage, right? You're no longer being the one executing on all of these things. You're more of a decision maker. You're going to be the guy that people look to for judgment, right? You're going to be making good decisions because you're in a more highly levered position, right? If Alex is making a decision about what vendor he's going to use for this specific tool, like, oh, I need to accomplish some task, I need to buy a vendor, and you're going to be the one executing it, it's probably best like you just see the one that looks best, pick it, and go. But if you're running a 5,000 person company and everybody on the company is going to be using this vendor, you probably want to inspect the vendors a little bit more closely, because it's a much higher leverage decision that you need to make. And getting everybody to quickly switch to a new vendor, not easy. So it's basically just it's a function of leverage. When you have very little leverage, use intuition, move fast. When you have lots of leverage and things are working, like, or your business is growing and you have more leverage, you got, take in as much data as you can and make a good sound decision based on it, I would say.
Yeah, I like that. Earlier on, use intuition, move fast, the concept of fail fast, you gotta, and then once you have higher leverage data, and just very smart decisions. So